Hello, we're going to talk about black and white conversions and smart filters in this video. So I'm in Bridge right now, looking at some DNGs from my time in Germany. Well, let's select this guy. It might make a good contender for black and white. Now in Camera Raw, we're going to do all the basic settings. Hold down the option to establish a good black value. Option. Now, I wouldn't worry too much about this up here. We turn on our shadow clipping warnings and our highlight clipping warnings. When we use the highlight slider, drag it to the left, it's going to take care of that. And we want to make sure that we have a little bit of detail on the floor and it's not just reading as a blank shape. But we can also open up the shadows if we need to. So I'm okay with just some of those minor small changes for now. And then the white balance, I'm going to hit I and take a reading off of the window frame. All right, that is making it very cold. I'm pretty sure this building was a little on the warm side. Maybe the paint was more of a cream. So you can make that aesthetic decision to warm it up a little bit. Also, this courtyard will be a little more blue because it's in shadow. So I think we can warm it up a little bit. You can also try auto. That warms it up a little. I like that. We can always come back when we're done editing and check it out. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of texture. I think it will work well with some of the designs and the detail. And go to lens corrections. Default, auto. This is a Leica. It's not really doing what I want it to do. So I'm going to go to the transform menu, transform tool, shift T. I'm going to try auto. Auto does a pretty good job of straightening up my lines. I can also try level. Ooh, that makes that a very strange corner. That actually looks the best to me. I'm going to play with this vertical slider to make sure that this line here is straight. And you can see I have a little bit of transparency showing through. So I can adjust the scale up a couple of points. Okay. Now in Camera Raw, you can make a file black and white. It's pretty easy. You would just, under the basic panel, go to black and white. There are new profiles for black and white, which you can see if you click here and here. And there are different versions that change the way that the luminosity and values render. Right, so you can play around with these to see what you like the best. You've got a strong blue filter, green filter, orange filter, yellow filter, red filter. So this is one way that you can do black and white. I'm not going to do it in here. I'm going to save it, take it as color, close, take it back to color, and I'm going to open and into Photoshop as a smart object and make it black and white in Photoshop. So I'm going to set my Adobe up by clicking this little link here and checking Photoshop, open in Photoshop as smart objects. So I don't have to ask it to do it every time. This button here will change from open image to open object. Cool. Now I can hit open object. And there we go, looking pretty good. So it's got all of our layer panels and everything. Remember that in the window arrange, you can, if you have more than one open, you can tile them horizontally or vertically. You can open them as windows. And under workspace, you can reset photography or set up your own workspace and then save it as your own workspace. I'm going to do that now. I'll link that in there. I want to have the history always kind of available. Put that up there with my histogram. Layers can go here. So I've got layers. I'm going to shut down my libraries. Adjustments and properties. That looks good. Layers, histogram. I'm set. Window, workspace, new workspace, Amy, and I want it to save all of these things. All right, now making it black and white in Photoshop, not too hard. We can go to the second row, third icon over, and it makes it black and white. One of the reasons I like this tool over doing it in Camera Raw is it allows me to go back in and edit. So I can start to work with some of the sliders. There's a little bit of a lag on my computer, and I'm not sure exactly which slider to select to affect which area. So I'm going to grab the scrubby hand. I'm going to reset it to default, grab that scrubby hand, and I can click and drag in the image. Click and drag, and then it will pick the slider for me. If you go too far and you're like, ooh, this is not great, you can go back up to default and it will reset all of your sliders. And then with the scrubby hand selected, click and drag. I like that. One of the things with black and white is often if you haven't thought about the image being black and white when you shoot it and you try to convert it to black and white, there are some contrast issues. So we will be talking about that in the next video.